Hello everybody, my name is Matt Kovaloski and I'm a graduating senior at NA in 2015. And for this video I'm going to do something a bit different than a normal senior year spiel. As about the last year of our lives have been about what are we going to do in the future and our future accomplishment with choosing colleges and everything. But I've noticed as we get closer to graduation it's been more about remembering the good times we had as kids, growing up through elementary school and middle school, even at NAI. In my film class, we watched Stand By Me, which is a great coming-of-age film about kids in middle school. And we had a great, lengthy discussion about being kids and doing reckless stuff. And that's why I've come back here to Marshall Middle and Marshall Elementary, the Marshall campus, to talk about what it was like growing up through NA. So, Marshall Elementary, this is where I went to elementary school, 2nd through 5th. I moved here halfway through 2nd grade, and it was a good place to start off. I really liked it. Made a lot of friends. Made a lot of friends that I still have today, especially my friend Anthony. We were neighbors, we had a lot of classes together, it was really fun. And all the teachers were really nice. I especially liked field day. I think everybody liked field day. The last day of school where we just went out and just played all sorts of games. It was really fun. But yeah, this was a good starting point. I really like this. Really like this place. It's kind of weird being back here now, being so old, but it's bringing back a lot of good memories, and that's what this video is all about, is reminiscing about the good times that we had. And I remember standing in this courtyard right here, taking our, I guess, class picture, you could call it. It was all the 5th graders. We were standing right here. I remember that. My mom still has that picture in her office at home. It's pretty neat being back here. Marshall Middle, the awkward years. And that's not just me speaking. I'm pretty sure all of us, middle school was kind of awkward. Everybody was trying to find themselves and figure out kind of where they wanted to go during high school. People wanted to do more towards sports or more towards athletics or music or whatever you wanted to do. This was, I guess, the gateway for it, I guess you could call it. My favorite memory from middle school was probably semi in 8th grade. That was the first dance I ever went to, and it was really fun. It really was. And Mr. Merzlach's 8th grade history class. He was an awesome teacher. I really liked him, and that class is probably what spurred me towards really liking history, especially in high school. Last year in U.S. history, I did really well, and it wasn't a burden to study or anything, even for this class. It really wasn't, and I really liked it, and it's probably one of my favorite things from middle school. NAI, this is the first step in high school. This is where things started to get a bit more serious. Everybody had pretty much figured out what they wanted to do with the next 4 years, whether it be really buckling down for academics and getting into a really good school, or athletics, football, soccer, baseball, what have you, or music. So pretty much by now, you probably should have had what you wanted to do figured out. Not all the way into the future, but at least these 4 years, you probably should have figured out what you wanted to do by then. But it was all right here. You were kind of like the little kid still, but it was definitely a nice transition from middle school to the senior high school. It was a nice transition. Yeah, it was harder than middle school, but it wasn't as hard as it was at the senior high. So it was a good preparatory thing. And I'd have to say my favorite memory here was probably joining ROTC. That's just so fun, at least for me. I think it's really fun. I met a lot of cool people through it. And I'll definitely remember all the great times I had through ROTC. Nash, the big house. This is where we end. This Nash was more about the future than the present. I mean, school was the grades were obviously important. I mean, 11th grade is probably one of the biggest years that colleges look at, but it was more about picking colleges to apply to. It was more about our future, and it really gave a sense that the real world was one step more, and it was really nice. My favorite memory was probably senior prom. It was really fun. It was a really nice way to end the year. It was awesome. And just to be able to be there with everybody that you'd grown up with over the last 10, 13 years. Well, 10 in my case. But yeah, it was really fun. My favorite teachers from here are probably Mr. Truesdale, my English teacher for senior year. He really helped out a lot. He was a no bullcrap kind of guy. Like, he would tell you how it is in the real world and get you prepared for college. That's all his class was. He didn't have you do any unnecessary work. It was all getting you prepared, and it was really nice. Yeah, I really liked it. So I guess that's it for my section of the video. Next, we're going to go to some interviews that I did with some other students talking about their favorite moments from NA. So for NA TV, this is Matt Kovaloski. Bye.
My favorite memory from North Allegheny would be this year when we went on a New York trip with the TV studio and the Acting Society kids. We had a lot of free time in New York. We got to visit a lot of cool places, got to meet new friends. Fun time.
One of my favorite memories is probably going to a lot of the dances. I mean, a lot of people may think that they're overrated and that they're talked about too much, but I don't know, I always had a good time. Especially at senior prom. It's probably one of my favorite memories of all time. Something I'll never forget.
So a great memory for me in high school right now would either be when I dressed up as a bunny and walked around the school in a Easter bunny costume, or the New York trip with Actors Society. That was actually a lot of fun.
My favorite memory at NA was going to my first football game.
My favorite memory at NA is all the cars I hit in gym tennis.